And what do we have here today from Charbone? Press release. Charbone Hydrogen announces site selection for first US-based green hydrogen production facility entering final stages. If you remember from my investment report on Charbone, if you didn't read it, the link to the report is in the description. I had this map and I talked about how Charbone Hydrogen Corporation is going to put its first location into green hydrogen production. That first location is right here, Sorel Tracy in Canada. And this press release is talking about this location here in Detroit. So it's talking about the first location in the United States, right? If you can see here, they're trying to put various different projects in production by 2030. So this press release, again, is about the Detroit location. So let's have a look. Charbone Hydrogen Corporation, North America's only publicly traded pure green hydrogen company, today announced it is entering into final stages of the site selection process in Oakland County, Michigan for Charbone's first green hydrogen facility in the United States. Further to the company's December 4th, 2023 project announcement, Oakland County is the home of dozens of major automotive companies, including numerous headquarters, North American headquarters, and R&D facilities. With the full support of the Oakland County Economic Development Department, the Detroit Regional Partnership, and the City of Detroit Sustainable Office, Charbone has been visiting, evaluating, and assessing multiple brownfield sites for redevelopment potential. Now, in the final stages of its selection process, the company anticipates making a site selection in the coming weeks. Additional key stakeholders such as Michigan Economic Development Corporation and the Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy have also been actively involved. Charbone's site selection approach to modular green hydrogen plant development is based on commercial real estate based practices and the group's collective expertise in developing alternative energy solutions that align with municipal, state, and federal agencies' goals to leverage renewable energies for a sustainable future. Site readiness, highway proximity, program scalability, accessibility to reliable and non-intermittent renewable energy resources, and project support from local utilities are all contributing factors in the final site selection. Charbone's Chief Executive Officer, Daniel Charette, has also taken several face-to-face meetings with local and regional stakeholders, including public transit companies that are looking at fuel cell buses and other potential green hydrogen off-takers. Additionally, Charette recently presented Charbone's Greater Detroit area project vision at a recent Oakland County Mobility Advisory Council held at the Continental AG Auburn Hills campus. Here's the picture. This is the CEO. Here's a quote from him. Charbone's North American green hydrogen production plans are aggressive, and we plan to be online and operating in both US and Canada this year. Wow, this is aggressive. This is aggressive. I thought that they only were going to put the Canadian project into green hydrogen production, but they're talking about US too. Okay, our top priorities are to bring out Canadian project online this summer and fast-track the Oakland County project and become the first green hydrogen production facility in Michigan before the end of 2024. This is very important, and I'll comment on that more. We are engaged with all suppliers for electrolyzer deliveries within these timeframes, and our scalable approach to project plant construction gives our team the flexibility and agility to mobilize quickly. The amount of green hydrogen opportunities in the Detroit area is simply staggering, and our plan is to capitalize on these as first movers. Additionally, Charbone is also announcing an increase by $100,000 of the secured convertible debenture with an arm's-length investor, Finex Corp, announced on August 3rd, 2023 and January 31st, 2024 for the purchase of related equipment. Charbone has also agreed with the holder to change the maturity date from March 30, 2025 to September 30, 2025. All of the other terms would stay the same and will be issued upon the approval of the TSX Venture Exchange and other customary closing conditions. Okay, so at this point, Charbone is the only North America's publicly traded pure play green hydrogen company, okay? Now, at this point, it is not a green hydrogen producer, right? It promises to produce that. Now, to become a producer, the company needs money. And then the last press release that the company had was talking about how it engaged U.S. Capital Corp as a financier for various projects. Project financing. In other words, they bring the money to finance a particular location, and then that location will be owned by Charbone, public shareholders, and financiers. So it will be split 50-50 or however they negotiate. So it's a very capital light business model for Charbone shareholders because somebody else pays for the development of the particular location. Now, when somebody writes the check, whether the check comes from U.S. Bancorp or whether the check comes from some other source, they have some dams that they can sell, or maybe a convertible debenture, whatever, they just need $1 million to get the equipment, to get the electrolyzer delivered to the Canadian location. And once they become a green hydrogen producer, everything changes. It goes from we promise to be a green hydrogen producer to we are a green hydrogen producer. And green hydrogen is hot, okay? So at this point, I always talk about what do investors care about? 3 inches in front of their face. So I would say we are 5 inches in front of investors' face. 5 inches. We are getting closer and closer to 3 inches in front of the face. I believe that once the equipment starts arriving, once somebody writes the check to pay for the rest of the equipment, the closer they get to green hydrogen production, the closer they get to 3 inches in front of people's face. So, but for today, this was an update on the US location. They're talking about how they plan to have this in green hydrogen production this year. So 2 locations, Canadian location and US location, to be producing green hydrogen this year. 3 inches in front of people's face. Once they become a producer, everything changes.